Hello, everyone. The title of my paper is A Comparison of Arabic in Ceuta, Spain, and Mazara del Vallo in Italy. The main idea here is that when we compare the two Arabic speech communities in these two different European cities, which are diaspora communities, uh, they resemble each other in unique ways, in spite of the few differences they do have. And it seems that there will be a longer lasting vitality of the Arabic spoken in Ceuta and Mazara, more so than in other parts of Europe that have immigrant diaspora communities that speak Arabic. The similar vitality of Arabic in Ceuta and Mazara correlates to the shared factors influencing these two communities, with one major difference, which is the access to public education in Arabic. But this does not seem to be affecting the outcome. Now, in order to understand the Arabic being spoken in Ceuta and Mazara, it's worth classifying the types of Arabic that is spoken in these two cities. In Ceuta, there is Moroccan Arabic, and in Mazara, it's Tunisian Arabic. So then that leads us to the question of what are these varieties of Arabic? Arabic is a very rich language and has a lot of spoken varieties within itself. So, in order to understand Moroccan and Tunisian, first we can divide and classify the Arabic dialects in terms of Western and Eastern. The eastern half is the Mashriq, that's Middle East, Egypt, and Sudan, and the western half is the Maghrib, highlighted in green in the map there. The Maghribi dialects are divided up into two varieties. The pre-Hilali, which was the earliest wave of Arabic speakers who came to North Africa, and that's associated with a more sedentary or urban variety. And the Hilali, which was a later wave of Arabic speakers who came that were largely Bedouin Arabic speakers. And so the Hilali dialects or Hilali varieties are associated with Bedouin features of Arabic. Now, Moroccan and Tunisian Arabic varieties have a blend of both of these pre-Hilali and Hilali features. And it's also worth noting that Moroccan Arabic is not just one type of variety. There are many different sub-varieties, and the same is true for Tunisia. And so it's not a monolithic variety of Arabic Tunisian, for example. So ultimately, even though we can classify Moroccan and Tunisian Arabic dialects in the same category, they're Maghrebi dialects displaying pre-Hilali as well as Hilali features. At the same time, they are a bit different in terms of some of their phonological features, their lexicon, for example, as well. Now it's worth turning our attention to the specific cities in question, Ceuta, Spain, and Mazara del Vallo in Italy, and ask ourselves the question, why are these important cities to investigate? And the two of them are actually a bit unique in terms of their relationship with being European and having a relationship with North Africa in terms of their proximity and their close connections to Arabic speaking communities. Uh, for example, in Ceuta, we see that it is actually, even though it's a Spanish city, it's actually on African soil. And you can see in the picture there on the bottom, it actually shares a land border with Morocco. Despite this, the Spanish-speaking community there dates several centuries back and is actually earlier than the current Moroccan Arabic-speaking community present in Ceuta. Despite this, the Arabic speaking community does go back several generations, but they come from different sub-regions of Morocco, largely in the north there, neighboring Ceuta. At this current time, nearly half the population of Ceuta is Arabic speaking, and there continues to be a steady stream of arrivals feeding into the Arabic community. The Arabic speakers are mainly in separate neighborhoods in Ceuta. And lastly, it's worth noting that Arabic does not play much of a role in the school system there, and Spanish is the major language being used in education. Now, for Mazara, it is very close to Tunisia, although, of course, it doesn't share a land border like Ceuta with Morocco. However, it is extremely close. You can see on the bottom picture there, it's on the coast of the western coast of Sicily, and it's you can't get much closer if you're in Sicily to Tunisia. And there is a Tunisian Arabic speaking community there that goes back several generations. And these speakers mainly come from two towns in Tunisia, Shebba and Mahdia. And these two towns reflect a difference in varieties of Arabic in a somewhat similar way to, say, the varieties that are reflected in Ceuta. The different subregions feeding into Ceuta also reflect differences in their Arabic varieties. So in Mazara, we see that the Arabic speakers do not make up as much of the population as they do in Ceuta, but they are still a significant presence there. And there's a continuous movement of new folks coming and going from Tunisia and into Mazara. And like the Arabic speakers in Ceuta, they are largely concentrated in specific neighborhoods. But unlike in Ceuta, there is a public school which offers instruction in Arabic rather than the dominant language of Italian. Now it's worth looking at the influences that are shaping the Arabic being spoken in Ceuta and Mazara. And these influences are quite similar between both cities. So we see that there is interdialectical mixing and leveling taking place, where different features are being used, sometimes interchangeably. For example, phonetic features. Um, and this is true for both places, as I mentioned, different regions, such as the two towns of Shebba and Mehdia, have different varieties between themselves. And when speakers come together in Mazara, for example, they're mixing together these features. We also see an influence from the standard coinage. So in Morocco, there is the development of a standard Moroccan Arabic. And there's in Tunisia, the development of standard Tunisian Arabic. And these standard forms are exerting an influence both in country, in their respective countries, and beyond. And we're seeing that influence in the speech of Moroccan Arabic speakers in Ceuta and Tunisian speakers in Mazara. The most salient element that's being affected is phonology. So we see a mixing of phonetic features and traits. One key example is that of the pronunciation of qaf. This Arabic letter, qaf, is pronounced in standard Arabic as a voiceless uvular stop, qa. And this is true also for pre-Hilali varieties. This is different from the Hilali varieties, where they have a more Bedouin influence, and a feature of Bedouin Arabic is the pronunciation of this as a voiced velar stop, which is the ga sound. So the ka and the ga are sort of in competition in terms of what's being pronounced. And there's actually quite a bit of mixing of the two phonemes taking place amongst speakers. Now, there are, in addition to the internal influences from Arabic varieties, we see external influences from the dominant languages, Spanish in Ceuta and Italian, Sicilian, both of those languages in Mazara. And especially with younger generation speakers, there is a lot of bilingualism, where speakers in Ceuta are proficient in Spanish and Arabic, and then in Mazara, it's actually trilingualism potentially between Italian, Sicilian, and Arabic. And the speakers, though, are not getting rid of their heritage language, Arabic, in favor of the dominant languages. They're code switching between both of them and using both proficiently. Um, and I said that phonology is the most strongly affected by these different influences. Morphology also, from the dominant languages mentioned here, as well as the Arabic koines previously mentioned. Now, lastly, it's important to step back a little bit and see the broader scope. How do Ceuta and Mazara compare with Arabic more generally? Of course, this is not an exhaustive look at that, but 2 points I would like to make. One is that Arabic does not seem to be influencing the dominant speech communities. For example, Spanish speakers who do not have Moroccan Arabic background are not learning Arabic, and their speech practices in Spanish are not being influenced by Arabic. This differs a little bit in some places we see in Europe currently. For example, in the Netherlands, there is a variety of Dutch developing called Moroccan flavored Dutch, and it's being influenced, its accent, its vocabulary is being influenced by Moroccan Arabic, and it's starting to be diffused out beyond the Moroccan Arabic speech community, and is being used by folks who are of non-Moroccan origin. Now, what's interesting is we're not really seeing this in places like Ceuta and Mazara, despite the fact that there's a strong geographical proximity and a strong presence of Arabic speakers in these places. It's not happening like it is in some parts of Europe, like in the Netherlands. Now, the second thing I want to mention about the wider European context is that in Europe, more generally, there is a prediction of the decline of the usage of Arabic due to restrictive immigration policies and a preference for dominant languages by the time the third generation comes at the expense of Arabic as a heritage language. This does not seem to be happening in Ceuta and Mazara. They have already reached the third generation, and speakers are still using Arabic in a productive way, in productive ways. And this long-lasting vitality of Arabic seems to be connected to a more steady influx of Arabic speakers, a stronger connection to the source countries geographically uh, close by, and also maybe due to the isolated nature of these communities. So, in conclusion, uh, the similar vitality of Arabic spoken in Ceuta and Mazara correlates to the shared factors influencing these two communities. That one difference we saw, the access to public education in Arabic, does not seem to be affecting the outcome very much. Lastly, what are some further research ideas? Longitudinal studies would be great here, and really seeking to answer those questions. How will Arabic continue to change in these two locations? Will the speech communities continue to resemble each other in Ceuta and Mazara? And will Arabic continue to thrive as it has been in the past few generations? That's all. Thank you very much. Bye.